that Hamas is Hamas, but you have to give it to Trump. I think Trump does have a role to play here, unlike what he claims in India and Pakistan. But what is the road ahead for India? Like, how do we manage? Well, clearly this trip to India from Afghanistan was a very strategic trip. India is playing its cards. So what do you think we can do in this region in the coming future? And I actually also had one Bangladeshi question. Did you listen to Mohammad Yunus making the claim that a lot of factories from India are going to go to Bangladesh? 50% of Bangladeshi textile units have shut down in 1 year.
Come 26th of February, he's no longer going to be the Prime Minister. Why are you worried about him?
He's so irritating.
Yeah, he's irritating, but we shouldn't respond to every mosquito and lump of shit that comes on our.
That is true.
When you're, unfortunately, when you're driving past
Guilty as
Indian road
charged.
with
Guilty
your
as charged.
windows down and the cow is, waving its tail, some shit will land on you. Do you get out of the car and start screeching at the cow? No.
True.
Mohammed Yunus is that little speck of shit from the cow's ass that falls on you when it's waving its tail. Full stop, deal with it. Go home and take a shower. So let's leave him aside. He's an irrelevant little nuisance. Well, he's not little, he's quite fat, but irrelevant fat nuisance. But what was with what was the other thing you asked me before
No. So
Yunus?
how do we manage this? What is the road ahead for us,
He
considering
was
Trump's
look.
tantrums as far as our region is concerned?
He has to be managed somehow. You make the best of a bad situation. And mind you, the situation before wasn't any worse. Any less worse. With Biden, it was actually much tougher to deal with because they were undermining your state using all these NGO type shitholes. And there was nothing much you could do about it. So Trump actually did you a huge favor by, dismantling USAID and all those things. So let's also say thank you to Trump for a change, huh? Okay. He's hurting Indian industry. Is he hurting any other part? Not really. With Pakistan are willing to take off their clothes and dance for him. Can you blame yourself? Pride comes with a cost. So let's be clear about it. Pride comes with a cost. When you're like Pakistan, like Asim Munir, you throw $5 at him and tell him to do a striptease, he'll do it for you. He'll dangle his little schlong in your face and stir your cocktails with it if you want. Did he mind ever being taken in through the back door through which Marilyn Monroe used to get taken up to fuck John F. Kennedy? No, he didn't. He was very happy to go the first 2 times without a photo. No? So, listen, let's get a gauge. Sergio Gore, who is Trump's most trusted right hand, has been sent here for a reason. He thought he could bully us. He's realized he can't bully us. So Sergio Gore is going to set the thing straight. And they're going to fix it. Now, I don't know how they're going to fix it, what the modus operandi is going to be. Remember when Trump reached out and we said, this is going to end. I also said this, Shivarur also said this, there are going to be more hiccups. There are going to be several more hiccups. Expect 2-3 more surprises, more maybe. But eventually, even under Trump, this relationship is going to be fixed. Why? That's the question. Because no matter how much we have disputes between ourselves, China is the big threat in the room that nobody can make a deal with. And understand, there would have been a point at which, America could have made a deal with China for a duopoly and screwed India over very badly, which is, of course, what Obama proposed. Everybody seems to have forgotten Obama's proposal for a G2. Guess who the biggest enemies of that were? The Chinese, because they don't believe in a G2. How long have we been trying to fix our ties with the Chinese? Have the Chinese allowed the ties to get fixed? No, because they're pig-headed. If you can trust one thing, trust Chinese pig-headedness.
Hmm. And how do you see our Afghan relationship now? Look, his visit and him being given all this attention in Delhi is no small matter. I think it's an important signal that we've sent to the Taliban.
I have been saying this for how long? We have very close brotherly ties with the Taliban. The Taliban are true followers of the Gram Panchayat system. We might have forgotten it, but they remember it is the truest tribute to Indian culture that they follow the Gram Panchayat system in its true form and its true meaning. Uh, they are genuine federalists. I think we have great amount of common interests, common values, shared values. We are both secular countries. We are both against extremism in all its forms and manifestations. We are both. One is a progressive democracy that has progressed a bit. Another is a progressive democracy that needs to progress more. Why should we judge people in our own image? Why can't you accept that the Taliban have good intentions and what is not there today will be there 15, 20 years down the line?
And let me, this is not, this
Tell me
Vineet
how.
comment is very serious. Every Indian vlogger genuinely gets treated well in Afghanistan, man. They
Yes,
do. There is no, this is not some conspiracy theory. They
yeah.
do treat us well.
Not just Indian vlogger, Indians, period. If you say Musafire Hindustan, they will be like, oh, they will shower you with love. And listen, at some point, give our foreign policy some credit, including Nehru, including Indira Gandhi. And,
Yes.
Indira Gandhi, of course, we should never hesitate to give credit to. She was a master player of
Obviously.
international politics.
Boss, she created Bangladesh.
No, in the last Samosa caucus, Anand and I had a big fight about this because he thought, she wasn't very good. And she was, boss, believe me, wo sabki maa thi in terms of calculative foreign policy. Okay. Nobody could outplay her in foreign policy. Economic policy, sure, criticize. But I don't believe her intention was ever bad. Nehru, sure, lot to be criticized, but even Nehru, a 99.99% Muslim country, for the last 75 to 80 years of your independence has virtually been your ally, save for 2 to 4 years in between, which was an aberration, which is from what, 96 to 2000, something like that.
Hmm.
uh, that was the aberration. Kuch to credit do bhai.
Yeah.
So, I salute the Modi government, and it has recognized that, the Taliban are feminists in deed and not in word. And we must accept the exclusion of female journalists, of certain female journalists from the presser, was on grounds of lack of merit and not because of their gender.
Listen, my point to it is very simple. It was Talibani property. It was Afghan property, their society, their rules. We have to respect that. You
Yeah.
know what? A Parsi Agyari does not have non-Parsis inside the Parsi
Yes.
Agyari. The Indian
Yes.
state allows that. You know what? If where are all these journalists who don't fight for Indian Muslim women? What happens
Yeah.
to them then? Why don't they demand a secular
Remember,
civil
these
code in
people,
India?
these same women were opposing the triple talaq banning. They were opposing the banning of nikah halala.
Exactly. Exactly.
So please,
Exactly.
let us be very clear. The Taliban are feminists who excluded these fake feminists, these frauds, on grounds of merit. They don't deserve to be called journalists. They're Pakistani agents and spies. Their first reports would have been filed with the Pakistan High Commissioner and not with their respective news bureaus.